guys, this is Sky bringing another video. I want to do this video about a subject that I'm, very passionate about, and I want to be able to help others with voice control. I got asked a question on my last video. They said, "Can you please do a video on how you got your voice so fishy and feminine?" I really don't know what they mean by fishy. If they're talking about me like lying or it not being my original voice. This is my voice and I worked hard for it. Before I say anything, go on in from this into the subject I want to talk about, let me know, you guys. I told you guys that my camera quality isn't the best, so let me know. I'm going to try to do a full screen, which I'm doing right now, as you guys can see. So hopefully it doesn't come out too bad. Like I said, I wanted better equipment before I did full screen, but if it's something you guys want, I've had multiple people ask me. So, let me, give me your guys' opinion on it. I'll continue to do it, like this video if, it comes out decent quality. So going back into the subject of voice control, growing up, like I've told you guys before, I was really depressed. And every year, every day that passed by, I was thinking like I was losing part of my femininity. You know what I mean? Like I was losing my woman. Like I felt like I was, like going further away from what I was, and it's extremely important, especially for voice, at a young age. If for me, it's a very difficult subject to talk about kids that are transgender, for the fact that, there are kids that change their minds. So it's very, touchy subject, because, you don't want to rush anything, and, you want to make sure you make the right decision because it can affect your mental health. For me, I always knew this is what I was meant to be and who I was, so, and it took a long time to even transition. So, I had a lot of time to think about it and realized how depressed I was before. So going into voice control, like I said, if you don't transition at a young age, going through hormones, is definitely going to change your voice. And, it's inevitable, unless you block it. So, and it's something that really can get you down negatively. It's something that I know that maybe some transgenders don't transition because they're scared of their voice. For me, I've been very fortunate enough. I haven't really had like a low voice for the most part, and I've always been kind of, I've always kind of had a sensitive feminine voice in a sense, just who I was. So, I've come such a long way. Like when I go listen to, my voice on recordings from my speech therapist, it's crazy how far I've come, and, like she always says how proud she is of me, I'm like her longest student, that I've been coming to see her, so we have this great relationship, where we're really close, so, and she's taught me so much, I was scrounging around, I was looking for my paperwork, there's a lot of interesting things that I'm going to look around for you guys, and I'll try to post them up, but, just different ways to control your voice, your pitch, things like that, people don't realize how much you can change your voice. Like, I wouldn't, obviously, anything you hear, hormones does not, soften your voice. It might put you mentally in a place where you feel more feminine, which would change your voice, but physically, I personally don't believe it does. That's just my opinion, and that's, anytime you hear anybody, when they talk about transitioning, the changes, that's one thing that doesn't, change. And there's different things out there. Like when I first was transitioning, I was looking at different places. I was thinking of having voice surgery. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I thinking so much, and trying to get everything backed up of what I want to talk about, and then like I'll skip something. So, voice surgery. I was thinking about it. There is a place in Beverly Hills, and there's one that I know that's even different in Korea. So, at the time I was looking at different places, and, I guess I wasn't very confident with myself at first, and, for me, I wanted to do like everything the right way in my transition because it's something that I always wanted. So I've always taken it so seriously, so when I stepped in the classroom with her, when I first got there, my first time of speech therapy, I was one of her first transgender students. She had a couple before me, but there wasn't really anything crazy. Like once I got there, like it seemed like she started getting more people there, and it's been one of the biggest changes in my life, because, you know, one of the most important things, this doesn't pertain to your voice, but it pertains to your image, is your confidence. And, you don't necessarily have to have like this crazy arrogance to you, for the most part. You just need to be, confident when you speak. You need to, you know, just be comfortable with yourself, because that's one thing that people can tell is when you don't feel comfortable talking. People can sense that. I truly believe that. If people can see through people that aren't confident, like with their own voice, because it's so normal that everybody's confident with themselves, when it comes to talking. So, the biggest thing is accepting yourself and just being comfortable with who you are. And I think, if you're just barely starting out, and maybe, for me, once I transitioned, I never went back. Like I never went between, boy and girl like that. As soon as I transitioned, I never went back ever. So, and once that happens, it's so much easier to improve your voice. When you go back and forth and you're changing your voice, you're never going to be able to get a consistent voice, because you're just going to bounce around. Like the one thing that I've really started to be excited about and accept is the fact how easy it is to talk like this. Like before, I would always be watching myself. I'd be worrying about how I sound. And what helped me out a lot is drive-throughs, honestly. Like that was my practice. Like my teacher would give me practice things to do, and I'm always the type of person that if somebody challenged me, I'm going to prove them wrong. Well, she believed in me, but you know what I mean? Like I want to make them proud. So I worked hard on that. Like a drive-through is a very good place because they don't see you, just like the phones. The phones are really good too, and it's given me confidence. So the biggest thing I'd say, in your speech and your overall presentation of who you are, is your confidence, believing in yourself. You're going to go through a process where, you're going to be unhappy with your voice, but if you work at it and learn how to control it in different ways, it can really become, something negative into something positive. I never thought that I'd be here today. Like when people started saying, wow, you have a nice voice, like it felt good. Like, and I was really insecure with my voice, and now I'm confident with it. Like, is it the best voice in the world? No, but it's me, it's who I am as a person, and that's another thing that really helped me is your personality. Try to, throw that in with your voice and your attitude, like everything, personality, attitude, and voice all comes into play, because, when you fight that who you are, it doesn't sound natural. For me, I never wanted this crazy, high voice. I try to obtain something I felt was reachable. So, and I try not to have this fake voice. And what's crazy is like people always tease me because I sound like a Cali girl now. So, and I've always teased my friends or whatever if they sound like a Valley girl or something like that. So, and like at first I was hesitant to be like that. I was like, that's not me. But, after thinking about it and how I feel, it is a lot like me, like my personality. And so when I control my voice, like I've been told this at voice, we have a group for voice training we go to. There's like 5 or 6 different transgender girls that go there, and some of them have wives and families, so we do that, and a lot of them say that I have this unique voice of how I control it. So it's been something that I've been able to turn very positive, and successful, and I'm proud of where I've come from. I've been a little hesitant to make this video because honestly, I want to make this video good for you guys. I've been really thinking about asking my speech therapist maybe if we could do a video together like I did with my brother, but instead do with my speech therapist to give you guys some basic information on what you can do to help improve your voice. She's a huge positive person for us. She brought our group together, and she's just been so supportive of us, coming to her and improving us as people. So and I have other girls that go with me, and I've watched them from the very beginning to where the past year to where they are now, and it's crazy how far they've come when it comes to voice. And a lot of them, when I go there, they always say such usually all of them say, ever since I've been going there, they all say some crazy things about my voice, which has actually really helped me too to be confident, because they were such positive people, and I felt like they kind of looked up to me in a sense, and it felt pretty good, because I tried to prove people wrong. I had a friend that was on Xbox with me, and when I first told him I was transitioning, my friends, he's like, you're going to be ugly and you're not even going to sound right. It's like, he's like, you're just going to be so unhappy. And I was like, all right. And this is where the negative I turn into positive becomes into play. Because when people challenge me, I like to prove people wrong, and I like to show a path for others to follow. Like if they think something's not obtainable, you do it, then that changes the perspective of people's, how they feel. So, and what they can achieve. That's why these videos are so important. And that's why sharing someone's transition is so important. Is so you can believe that you can do, you can transition and be happy and have a good life. That's, one of the biggest reasons why I make these videos is to share it with you guys, to help give you guys confidence. So I don't ever want to give you guys bad information. I apologize. I'm probably not the best teacher when it comes to speech, because for the most part, I was very fortunate, and they got to the point where it just was so natural to me. I stopped really studying what I need to practice on and stuff, so I don't know everything by heart. There's so many different things when it comes to your pitch and your tone and just everything. So I want to get all that information for you guys, so I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to try to educate you guys too much on this, because I'm going to have to read over my old study material and things like that of what I've learned, because I want to give you guys quality information. For me, before I just started doing this video, and I despise it. Like I did it just for you guys, not on here obviously, but in my room, I was like, I wonder if I can talk how I used to talk, and I used a deep voice, and I was like, but it worked. I was like, wow, that sounded like how I sounded before. And so I was like, but then I started talking, and I couldn't do it. It went right to this voice that I sound right here. So it's crazy. It's finally that's foreign to me. How I used to talk is foreign. This is me. This is Sky. This is Haley. This is how I always feel like I was meant to be. So I feel I've been very successful. Because I was 29, 28 when I started transitioning. The chances of, being successful on a lot of things when you transition is very hard, because you've wasted so many years, of doing it. Don't ever give up on don't ever give up on if that's going to make you happy or not, because, that every year you waste, fighting to be somebody you're not, just another day you're not happy, and I've been there, and I've been so depressed and angry at life, so it's important. Don't let things like your voice control or the way you look. Have confidence in yourself. Everybody's so special, and somebody's going to see you that way. When I first went there, we would do different training exercises. We would either read poems, or we would read about it. We would, I'd read something that I don't know about. I would read, like I said, poems, because they're kind of tricky. So you can't really think about using your voice. She does really good routines like that. There was times where I would do like sound out letters and use different pitches, and so I want to get all that information with you guys. I would love to do a video with her, but unfortunately, until I get a good camera, there's no way I would be able to set that up. So, and I don't know if my iPhone camera would be good enough quality for this. So we'll see what happens, but that is something I definitely want to do, you know. But when I started going to her, there's things that, she listened to me, and there's always letters that sometimes you sound more feminine with, like, S's are really good because it kind of gives you that little, I don't know, that kind of added, I wouldn't say attitude, but you know what I mean? Like a soft sound. When I first talked to her and, I talk about my life, I said a lot. And is kind of boyish in a sense that it doesn't sound as feminine. So she had me change my ums to so, because so sounds so much different. Like, so I went to the store, like, instead of I went to this, you know what I mean? Like, now I probably sound better saying but when I first did it, it was more it was deeper. And so's are soft. It comes off soft, like, when you first when you first say something. So, like, when you start off a sentence, it's important to kind of already have that mindset of using soft words like so, and another an extremely important thing to remember is slow down your speech. Okay, when I was a kid, I was the worst presentation person ever. Like, I would go up there and I'd rush through my presentation. Like, people would have a hard time hearing me, and I never came off as like, confident or professional in the sense. Now when I talk, I take my time and think about what I'm talking about. For one, it gives me less chance to say something wrong because I think about what I say before I say it. And when you talk slow, it gives off a very feminine, it does, it helps. I personally believe that. I watch, that's one thing we talk about in voice training is, slowing down your pace. For one, people can hear you better. You don't have to repeat yourself, and just be clear, and just, so, using like soft words like so, like I have the paperwork and I want to show you guys, I don't want to tell you guys anything that, I'm not 100% sure about, but that is one thing I know for sure that's changed a lot is by using soft onsets, so, it's really helped me in improving my voice. Trying to think what else I can really give to you guys on here. And when you talk, like, just think like as your personality, like when you're talking, like feel like you're a woman, like how you should sound and feel. Like, I personally believe once you get your image of who you are and you're confident, your voice will come into play. Like, it will start fitting in, and you'll start feeling more confident. For me, when I first started using my voice, around my parents, like, I felt, even though I looked this way, like, I had a hard time talking feminine because I guess it's kind of like, I don't want them to look at me and judge me, you know what I mean? So it took me a while to get comfortable with my voice around other people, but once, like I said, once it became second nature to me, once, I started using it all the time and hearing positive things, that's when it started getting better. So I know it's important to be positive. It's very important to use soft words that are on, like so. That's so important, really important, because it starts your sentence off the right way. When you're already going, and I have a bad habit of saying, things that I repeat, and, I still have to watch that, but, for the most part, it's important to be positive. It's really important to slow down your speech, not for it to be more clear, but to be more feminine. Women tend to, not talk too fast and really slow down when they do talk. They have kind of this attitude with their voice, so, those are things that really can help you. I want to give you guys good material. There's things I've practiced before to help feel like I can get my voice higher. So I want to be able to share those things with you guys. But I did want to make this video, because I don't want people thinking that, I'm cheating or something, or this isn't my real voice, because this is my real voice. And it kind of makes me feel good that somebody says it's fishy. That I feel like I've been very, if somebody says something like that, then you must be pretty successful with what you're doing, so I feel confident with that, and if I feel if I can get here, you guys can get here too. Yes, I had a higher voice than, most people, but, I've seen it in my own class how far people have come. There's people that come in there with really deep voices, and they've really softened up. They've been more consistent with their speech. They've been able to control it easier, and it just seems more natural. It's really important, to establish an identity of who you are, and, who your personality is, and, what I mean? And really just have that fit into everything, your voice, your personality, your looks, everything that needs to be solid. Like I feel complete. Like I accept my personality. Well, my personality is pretty cool. I would say I'm a pretty cool person. Like I'm laid back, but my voice, is really Cali girl like. So, and I've come to accept it. Like, I had a hard time at first hearing that, because it's like, really? I'm like being, they can easily stereotype me, so it's like, and I want to be different. So it's like, but, for the most part, you guys, I just want to give you guys kind of an, little information on speech and showing you guys this is my voice, not lying to you guys. I really worked really hard for this voice, for my body, for everything. I've taken care of everything, and there's, I was so worried about my hair. I've always had, pretty thick hair, nice hair and everything like that, but you still worry about things like, is it going to grow, as long as you want? There's always going to be, is my skin going to soften up? Is my voice going to change? Am I going to feel confident with who I am? Is somebody going to, it's so many things you can think about that can just get you depressed. Like I remember when I was first going through the transition, like I had a checklist of things I wanted to do, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, dang, like I'm never going to be able to do all this. Like I felt like, I did a few of them, and then like I couldn't have, I wanted more. Like I wanted to prove myself more. And it's like, it feels never ending, to being yourself, So, and like 4 years now, and I'm here, like I look like this, and I'm confident, and, I'm happy. And like, I finally feel like, my loving and caring personality is finally, I'm able to apply that to myself without being judged. Like now people say I'm like super sweet and cute. So it's like, okay, well, I've always had that personality, but I didn't come off that way because of how I looked, you know what I mean? So finally my personality and everything is just so easy because it's always been me, and now I feel like when I see myself in the mirror that I'm happy. And you guys definitely can get there with your confidence and just, improving things. Like, I am so grateful now that I didn't have voice therapy, I did have voice therapy, that I didn't have voice surgery. I've always been so, to be the best of, of people, but the best of myself. Like, I wanted to work my butt off for everything I had, so, I thought maybe voice surgery is something I needed, and I decided not to go that route. I decided to, work hard and improve my voice myself. And, financially, back when I was doing voice training and everything, I didn't have the crazy amount of money. So, I was only able to go like, once a week. And, and I took it home and I studied, I learned, I practiced, and I really impressed my speech therapist. I know, because she's just what she said to me, and where I've come, and it makes me feel good, and I hope I can, if I can't get you guys to personally understand it, because it's hard for me to teach in that sense, because I'm not as confident teaching people as I am doing it myself, you know, but I want to help you guys out as much as I can. So if I can get an interview with her and maybe set up a series, you know, with helping you guys, that'd be awesome. Like, I would love to do that for you guys, you know. And once I can get to the point financially, maybe I can pay her, you know, and she can help, you know, do, you know, help me do YouTube lessons for people, you know. So, and I like to be there with her because I feel like even though she's the expert, you know, I'm able to help you guys understand because of my mindset, you know. And she can't understand, you know, being transgender and having to, you know, transition your voice with your body and everything. So it's very different, and I can help you understand that part. But she is awesome. Hopefully I can get something set up with her. But, you know, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information, you know, kind of, you know, on my process of, you know, improving my speech and my overall happiness. And I really hope I can help somebody on this video. You know, I'm sorry. I hope this isn't a waste of time. You know, maybe some of the things I told you seems like common sense, you know, but, you know, if you don't stop and think, like, if I, you know what I mean? It's easy to say like that makes sense, but if you're not applying it to what you're doing, then it's, you know, it's not going to matter, you know. So it's important, you know, the basics things that I would say is confidence. Try to establish a personality of who you are, slow down your speech, you know, and try to soften your onsets and your offsets. Like, if you're ending a sentence, you know, it's really nice to kind of, you know, put reflection on your voice, like, and make it go up and down, like, you know, kind of mess with it, like, flirt with your voice, like, try to, you know, establish this, you know, certain, you know, what suits you, like. And that's what I've always been said. People say I have a very unique voice on how I talk, and, you know, sometimes, you know, some words I kind of make longer than they are, and some words I shorten, you know what I mean? So I have a very, you know, like, the way I talk, I have a very up and down voice, you know. It's just who I am, you know, and I'm confident with it, and I'm proud of myself where I've gotten to, and hopefully you guys can get to where you want to be. If you guys have any questions for me about anything, you know, and if I don't know it, I'll find it out for you guys, whether it's through my notes, you know, and all my study guides for my speech, or, you know, I can ask my speech therapist, you know, she's always there for me. And I just want to help you guys, you know, help anybody that's, you know, in the process of learning on changing themselves, you know, and transitioning. So I hope this helps you guys. I'm sorry if it doesn't. You know, I just want to give you guys an update on it, and I want to give you guys confidence that you have the ability to change, you know, your voice. You know, and because I was older when you know, everything was against me. I was older when I transitioned, so, you know, I know most people don't think I'm the age I am, but I am, and this is my voice. And you just work hard, you can get things you want in life. You know, you just got to be positive. You got to believe. And you just got to put work into it. So I hope this helped you guys. You know, I'm always here for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps me out. If you want to know more about my life, subscribe. I love you guys. Let me know how the full screen went. If it's too hideous, I'm just kidding. If it's too much, let me know. If the camera quality isn't that great, you know, let me know. But if this is what you guys want, I will do the rest of my videos. Like I said, biggest reason is because I didn't think my camera quality was good enough to, you know, expand. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on the next video.